Oi! Det så fedt ud, mand. Evening, everyone. Today I'm going to tie a Firetiger popper. We're going to use some of this very cool big fly fiber in the color Firetiger, a nice color that has mixed some flesh in it already. We're going to use some marabou, some flashabou in Firetiger, some grizzly saddle feathers, and some lateral scales. Of course, a popper head, some rubber legs and stuff like that. Oh, it's a bit. Try to get away that popper head. So, first off, I'm gonna take a bundle of big fly fiber, this nice curly stuff from Headrun, which is just truly awesome for big flies. Hence the name, I guess. This is curly in one end and straight in the other end, which makes this very good for big flies, because it will make your fly a lot bulky, very bulky and voluminous in one end, and then it tapers out, making it very vivid and lively in the other end. Also, this gives your fly a lot of bulk, but it makes your fly fairly easy to cast, even though they're big bastards. So, just tied that down, nice and fast, nice and securely. Move a bit further up here to apply the first bundle of flashabou. Taking a fairly decent amount here. Gonna pull this out so the strands are uneven in length, which will make them move more individually and better out in the water. Tying this down so it's approximately about 15-20 centimeters long. When you're tying poppers directly on hooks, you don't want your popper too long, because that can have an effect on the hooking percentage of your overall fishing. Like this, pulling everything here back once again. When you're tying pike flies, you don't want to lose any materials by cutting them off. You just simply turn it over, and then, well, makes it an integrated part of your fly. That also make your wing here, and the flesh in the wing comes in 2 stages, tapering down. So, important notice to keeping track of exactly where your popper head will start. Mine is going to start exactly where the flesh is ending now, and that is a nice thing, because then I can completely decide how exactly I want to do this. Then I'm going to take my grizzly saddle here, and very nice feathers, and the saddle feathers are a good addition to any pike fly, because they add vitality and give some movement and stuff like that no other material can do for you. So I'm going to tie 5 or 6 of these down, so they're facing in every which way. I'm going to tie these in pretty much individually, or at least 2 at a time. I get there, so I can completely control exactly which way these are turning it. And I'm tying these down so the natural curve is going to be outwards, which will make the move even more erratic. As you can see, the quality of these are cool. You want these long to be a good part of your fly. Is that about it? I think that's about it. Oh, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some lateral scales. Lateral scales is this very broad what is that? No, very broad flash material that is different from all other flash materials that I know of, at least, because it's crinkled, so it reflects light in a completely different way from all the other flash materials, and these will move independently from all the other materials. So again, to add some more contrast and more stuff that will make this fly stand out when a pike or a muskie is following it. There are five strands, 5 or 6 strands. You could add these individually as well, but well, I just didn't want to bother with that right now. But if you want them to be completely, perfectly distributed, then that's the way to go. Hold on, why am I making a whip finish? There's no need for that at the moment. I think my head got a bit ahead of my mouth, if if that makes any sense at all. So I'm gonna tie a bit up here along the hook shank here, making some thread, and I'm gonna take another bundle of flashabou, just approximately the same size as last time. And I gotta say, this color Firetiger here, the mix of these different colors here, makes this flash a very strong competitor for my overall favorite flash of all times. I think this color, and then the chartreuse one is, but also the also the pink and the black and the red and of course all of them are great for various situations like this. Turning around the other stuff here, tying this down, and as you can see, I've now added a bit of bulk here to the hook shank, which means that my popper head will have something more to grab onto when I'm pushing it over here. And just to make sure that there's a bit more bulk up there, I'm gonna take 2 of these hackle stems here, just to give the fly bulk, because this is gonna be hidden away anyway underneath the popper head. So just to make sure that to stabilize my popper head, just gonna do like this. That was just some leftover stuff I had laying around in my wastebasket, my Chimco wastebasket, just to make some product placement while I'm at it, like so. Doesn't that look cool? I at least think so. So to make the transition between this part of the fly and the rest of the fly as good and as beautiful as possible, then I'm gonna take, and also to again add the final piece of contrast, I'm gonna take orange marabou hackle feather, and I'm gonna turn this as a hackle. One final turn, I think, like so. Gonna cut it off. And as you can see, this made a nice transition between the tail and the popper head, making a whip finish. Oh, that did not go very well. It's not gonna have any actual effect if this whether it is there or not, because I'm gonna cover this, glaze this with super glue in a second. But well, just for show, let me make another finish like that. And then the popper head, in order for it to fit over the hook, you need to expand the hole often in these types of heads. So I'm just gonna take my fly tying scissor here. I'm gonna gently squeeze it while twisting and turning it all the way in the popper head to expand the foam. I know how this sounds, but and as you can see now, this is gonna go more smoothly over here, and this way I can push it exactly to the place where I want it to be without too much problems. Good. I'm gonna take my super glue, if I can locate it. There it was. Add a drop of super glue. And now you need to do this with a firm hand to make sure that the eye of the hook is is still visible, like so. Gonna take my dubbing needle and my lighter, heating up my dubbing needle. Pushing it through the popper head, taking my threader in the hole here. Then I'm gonna find my rubber legs, because this fly looks good with some legs attached to it. This is some yellow barred rubber legs. I like the barred rubber legs very much. They give some contrast again, kind of like the grizzly hackles. Pulling these in the head here, making sure these do not cling together. Just taking a small amount of super glue, applying it right there, so I can pull the super glue into the popper head, making sure that the legs stay in place. And well, you can cut those in the length you desire. Last thing is to just add a tiny drop of super glue to your head. And then of course your 3D eyes will by now have gone missing. Oh, there they were. Attaching that one, and using something else than your finger to making sure the eye stays in place, because otherwise your finger is gonna be glued onto your eye. Of course it needs an eye on the other side as well. And then you're done. This is gonna be truly awesome popper. I've actually not fished with this as of yet, but I'm going to tomorrow, and I will let you see how it did in the introduction of this movie. So take a look at that, because the colors here is great, and now I glued myself to the eye as I predicted I would. The color scheme here is great. Orange and green and yellow are 3 colors that Pikes really enjoy and like. So this color scheme is gonna be truly awesome. Well, those were the words. Thank you for tuning in.